What is one of the biggest mega trends on the planet? Nuclear energy. We're undergoing a nuclear renaissance. Which assets are directly correlated to nuclear energy? The assets that control the fuel that's going to power nuclear energy. So let's dive into exactly what's been going on with some of these assets. Year to date, uranium stocks are starting strong. Global X Uranium ETF so far up over 5%. The S&P 500 so far up only over 2%. Now, we have seen a massive correction in the last few days, but the relative outperformance is saying something. And that dip is because a lot of the wind has been taken out of the AI narrative because a brand new model over in China called DeepSeek was created. And it proves that essentially you can create breakthrough AI without spending as much money as huge companies like OpenAI have been spending. And so what this company did is prove that maybe these big tech companies have been spending way too much money on this technology. So that's brought down the entire market. The S&P 500 year to date is up 2%. And we also see that dip. So uranium assets are correlated to the AI space. Now, even if you're not a believer in artificial intelligence, you think it's all hype, it's all vaporware, who cares about it, right? It's another tech bubble. Even if that's what you think, there's still plenty of reasons to be massively bullish uranium. That's what makes it so exciting. We are in a multi-decade supply crunch. Global uranium supply deficit to persist. This comes from the World Nuclear Association. And what they're showing is what the experts are saying, that production in green will not be able to match the demand in orange for decades. That's without artificial intelligence. We've been covering on this channel how uranium is in a multi-decade supply crunch, and it was in a multi-decade supply crunch before artificial intelligence even arrived on the scene. So the market is just not understanding that at all if it's selling these assets because of a change in the AI narrative. Uranium will do well regardless. Here's a look at the US yearly uranium requirements estimates. What we see is that starting in 2030, we're getting an exponential uptrend in uranium demand. And that's happening regardless of artificial intelligence, and that is massive. Number of nuclear reactors under construction worldwide as of July 24 by country. China building massively, India as well, Turkey as well, Egypt, Russia, South Korea. Again, none of this factors in small modular reactors. We're seeing a huge amount of building of nuclear infrastructure as the world undergoes a nuclear renaissance. Again, regardless of artificial intelligence, that's a hugely important point. So when are a lot of these going to come online? Well, in 2025, we're expected to get 3 out of China. And in 2026, we're expected to get 6 out of China alone. This is the accelerating global adoption and demand for nuclear. And a huge chunk of that is happening in 2025. Canada takes a global lead on tripling nuclear. On January 15, the government of Ontario announced plans for a 10,000 megawatt of new nuclear on a single site at just the beginning as Canada stakes its claim in the global nuclear energy market. It's not just China. It's not just Canada. The UAE's nuclear company seeks to capitalize on AI-induced energy demand in the US. NX CEO says it plans to expand overseas after rapid growth in its home market. Big players are investing in this space. Now, in a huge sign that uranium is correlated to the explosive growth of nuclear energy, Cathie Wood dumps Sam Altman's surging nuclear startup and buys key uranium player, right? This is an innovative tech fund. Oklo Inc., we've been covering on this channel, has been pumping and it's been doing well, right? But Cathie Wood and her ARK Invest fund sold Oklo and purchased uranium refiner Cameco. So now all of a sudden, Cameco is seen as a revolutionary, early stage, innovative asset. So the narrative is being picked up by retail. So if you missed out on the massive move up in the uranium and uranium assets, now we're getting the sell-off. We're getting the entry point. Oracle stock surges on $500 billion Stargate OpenAI Trump deal. So Oracle, SoftBank, and OpenAI all partnered together to invest hundreds of billions of dollars into artificial intelligence infrastructure. Donald Trump, the president of the United States, is fully supportive of this move. And so let's look at the math of what that looks like, what it means for nuclear power. Each Stargate would require 6 or 3 pairs of 2 gigawatt reactors linked together by transmission lines. It would take 500 little 10 megawatt reactors running constantly to power a Stargate. It would take 5 large reactors. China will be building 10 of these per year, year after year by 2030. I expect Stargate participants to make bets on 1 or more microreactor and small reactor plays just in case. Well, we know the founder of OpenAI created Oklo, which is a small modular reactor company. Obviously, this enormous multi-hundred billion dollar company, organization, project is going to be most likely investing in Oklo, which is, again, a small modular reactor provider. But regardless of that, there is massive, accelerating, exponential demand for uranium that is not baked in to a lot of the future forecasts that you see from the experts, because this is an exponentially growing space. So it really doesn't get bigger than what is going on.